Hello everyone, Jacqueline Jax here with another Paint With Me video. Today I'm going to be looking at some of the papers because in our monthly subscription I always supply you with some paper. And finding the right papers for watercolor can be really tricky, as you know, right? I mean, we have granulating watercolors like these, and that can be really tricky, especially if you're using a cheaper paper. So I feel like I'm constantly trying to find that perfect paper. So why don't we take a look at something that just recently came in. This one, by the way, is Fabriano, and this is one of my accordion sketchbooks. I like these because I can just undo them, and I have them in a lot of different sizes if you guys want to go check them out. This is one of the newest ones, which I absolutely love. It is so cute. It's a leather one that you can take anywhere with you, and it's got tons and tons of pages in the accordion sketchbook style, so it will completely open. It comes with a nice little clip. Do I have the gold clips here? No, I don't think I have them here. But it comes with a gold clip, and it also has a little notebook in the back so you can make notes. But this is adorable. So can't beat Fabriano paper as far as I'm concerned. Even Arch doesn't really have the softness of the Fabriano without the buckling, right? Arches is great and I love the paper, but I find it to be a little bit tricky. It's not as flexible and it can be a little harder for some people to deal with. So Fabriano for me is my favorite, especially for granulating colors, because look at how gorgeous. But I can't just send Fabriano. I have to try all the papers. So recently, I sent you guys in the watercolor subscription Winsor Newton paper, which I think is a beautiful choice that's very inexpensive. This one is by Paul Rubens. So this one is similar to the Winsor Newton paper that is like a 50% cotton. This is 50% cotton, so it's not 100%, but it's really inexpensive. You can purchase it if you want to purchase samples on Jack's Watercolor, which is my store online where you can get a lot of samples. But I'm just going to try some for you here. Let's get out. How about we get out the, this one is the pink palette that's on my website right now. I just restocked it. Do you guys know which one it is? It's like really, really beautiful pinks. Let me see. Let's get the information so that you can see it. I wonder if I can share my screen. I think I can. So we go to jackswatercolor.com and Jack's Watercolor. Oh, I guess I put in Jacqueline Jax. Not to be mistaken for jacquelinejax.com. It's good to see it coming up in the search though. All right, so let me switch views here and see if I can do a screenshot so that you guys can see what is there. Okay, not too bad. I managed. So this is the website, and if we scan through, some of the new ones are here. The Five Blossom palette is kind of similar to the one I'm using right now. However, the difference is these are made by a variety of different companies. And the one I'm using right now is a handmade watercolor. So to find it, you would want to go to watercolor sets. And then in the watercolor sets, there's the new botanical ones. For those of you who are looking for it, this is also new, the blue flower, which is really, really pretty, 3 blues. There's a new granulating set in case you haven't seen that, and then there's also a mystic set, which you haven't seen either. Probably not. Winterberry, there it is. So the Winterberry sold out on the first day, and then I restocked just recently. So there are a few sets left in the quarter pan, which is a very, very nice deal. There's also half pan sets. If you like a little more color, remember a little goes a long way. These are pretty serious colors. There's a lot of pigment, no additives, no preservatives. They're just really, really great with no filler. So there's about twice the amount of pigment in these colors that I make. They are professional grade artist watercolor and things that I use myself. There's also, I think, one more full pan set that comes with a Schmincke case, a brush. Pretty cool, huh? I know I like it. So this is the set that I'm going to be painting with right now. I just have a little sampler here for me to use. And there I'm back. Okay. So this is just a little sampler. I have a couple of them set aside so that I can keep it on my painting. So let's give this a try. This is, once again, the Paul Rubens, and I just added this to my website. So I'm going to grab a couple of the different colors here. And then I think next month's watercolor subscription is going to be all about cherry blossoms. So I'm kind of playing with some different shapes for cherry blossoms and some fun loose styles. This paper is doing famously well. So I would suggest before the next subscription goes out, which is the 15th of January, go grab yourself some of this paper from our paper area of the website and give it a try. I really do like it, and it's surprisingly great at 50%. I like it a lot. Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about the cherry blossom theme we have going for the February subscription. I think the pinks and the reds are going to be really fun. And I'm mixing up a custom watercolor palette for all of my subscribers. So you guys are going to get something that nobody else can get if you're a subscriber, and that is the Honey Made watercolor that I make that is highly pigmented, and the colors are only going to be available in the subscription. But this color, if you like it, this is the berry set that I just showed you about. So I love the way this looks. I think it's doing a great job. The watercolor brush I'm using is also available on my website. I keep using it, I have to say, and I am a big brush person. I have so many different brushes. But what I find is I can really beat this brush up, and I can kind of manipulate it a lot. You will get it. You will get the brush in the subscription when you first sign up. So it does come with it. So just to be able to get the brush is a huge benefit. This is kind of really pretty. I like that. That's as far as I'm going to go, I think. Well, I love it. I think this paper is amazing. It's really beautiful. And also the point. Now, let me tell you, I've been using this brush for months because we got them in a long time ago. And I'm literally so crazy about it because it's got this really sharp little point, and I have beaten it to a pulp, and yet it's still ticking. It still doesn't give up on me. I mean, I've left this in watercolor. I've left it with watercolor in it and come back, and it's been like hard as a rock. I've even left it sitting in water on its tip. And I feel like these are like indestructible brushes. Like that's what we should call them instead of the synthetic. We should just call them the indestructible brushes. This is so cute. It's so neat right now. I almost want to mess with it. So I don't know. Let's just stump some salt on it. Let it grab some salt. I love what this color is doing here. It's like I don't want to do anything else with this one. I think I'm just going to leave it like this because it's pretty. And if I do another one, I'll do one that I just really mess around with, but I like the way this came out. This is really pretty. So what do you think of this paper? It does have a texture to it, so it's kind of like a fine grained texture. I would have to say compared to the Fabriano that's 100% cotton, it's a little less textured, right? But it's similar, just not bright white like the Fabriano is. Oh yeah, and I forgot to tell you, I just got a bunch of Arches paper and I made refills for the sketchbooks. So they're deckled edge and they are complete refills for these sketchbooks because you can buy the refills. So for a very, very inexpensive price, you can buy refills for this one and for the pink and blue of Arches or Fabriano. Again, Fabriano is kind of like this. It's less stiff, where the arch is very stiff. I'm looking to see around here if I have my Arches sketchbook. I think, oh no, this is the Animula. Well, let's look at the Animula. Let me move this out of the way. So the Animula is a really beautiful paper as well, but it's got the qualities to me of the Fabriano. But the Autumnula, depending on where you are, can be really expensive to get. You can see the vibrancy and the beauty of it. I do love it. I think it's a gorgeous paper. And at some point, I will be putting it in the subscriptions, but I still think I like the Fabriano better than the Autumnula. But again, you know, I've made sketchbooks with it. Let me look for my Arches. Okay, so this is the Arche. And so the Arche does a great job, and I, of course, use it for archival paintings. Do I use it instead of the Fabriano? Nope, not at all. But here's the thing. It's hard as a rock. I mean, like, it is so stiff. So a 300 GSM 140-pound Arche is stiff as a board, where the Fabriano doesn't have that feel. Like, it's softer, right? It's softer. So I don't know, I enjoy the more flexible feel of the paper, and it doesn't buckle. Like the Fabriano is fine. It's not doing anything wrong. You know, wet on wet, it handles everything. But the feel of it is just softer to me, and I just really like the grain. Now the texture of Arche is gorgeous as well, but again, it's heavily textured. I have found that the sizing that they put on the Arches can be a little bit of a challenge for beginners. So your paint will paint a little differently on this paper. I'm going to be sending it out in the subscriptions this month so that you guys can try both. You can try Arche compared to Fabriano. And of course, there's other paper samplers on the website if you want to go and try them out and get them delivered with your monthly subscription. But as always, I give you guys the paper right in the subscriptions so that you can try them. But yeah, that's kind of my paper story and why I love Fabriano. Now this, as far as a like workable quick paper, this is doing great. Would I sell work on this? I mean, if it were a card, it would be fine. I wouldn't sell my work on this. It even handled the salt pretty well. It doesn't dry very quick. It kind of sits on top. So when I paint on Fabriano, it sinks in, right? Because the cotton just pulls it in. So that is wonderful and luscious. And same with Arche. It sits on the top just a bit longer, but then it pulls it in. And Animula, this performs just like Fabriano to me, where it like has that softness, right? But this is not as, I would say, it's not as nice of a surface, the Animula, as the paper on the Fabriano. I like the surface of the Fabriano a lot more, but if you're going to do ink, this is not bad either. To me, honestly, this is just why I keep going back to Fabriano, because it just handles everything really well. I can sell it. It's archival. There's just so many beautiful qualities to it. And so my whole entire studio is filled with sketchbooks of this stuff, right? I just use it for everything because I love it. All right, enough of that. So this is where we're at with Paul Rubens. I do love it. I want you guys to try it. So I'm going to put it in the February subscription for you to try. And if you want to get a significant amount of it, I do have it up on the website right now so that you can give it a try as well. I don't think it's going to go into the basic subscriptions. It would only go into the duo subscriptions. So the duo subscriptions, or anybody that is signing up from this point on, is going to get in February the Fabriano paper, the Arches paper, and I think a choice. Well, you'll either get, depending on how much I have left, you'll either get the Paul Rubens to try, or you'll get the Winsor Newton. So one of the cheaper papers. But either way, you're going to get some beautiful papers. Again, if you want to just guarantee that you're getting this paper in anything that's getting delivered, just go buy a sample pack. They're really inexpensive over at jackswatercolor.com. Otherwise, when you sign up for the subscription, it's going to be Arches and Fabriano for you guys to try out. All right, let's look around here for some more papers, shall we? Okay, so this is the 5 green sampler. I have Midnight Dream, which is a honey-made watercolor, Aqua Suede, and Magic Forest, as well as Sweet Lemons. And this is a new card and envelope that I got as a request, special request from some of my shoppers at Jack's Watercolor. So this one is 100% cotton. It has a hot press smooth inside, so you can do watercolor on it, or you can actually write in ink on it. And then the exterior is a beautiful cold press with a texture. It's kind of neat, right? I like it. So let's give it a try. Comes with the envelope. So you get like a set of 6 of them. I priced them at 6 so that you can get them at a really, really good price. So I'm going to take some Midnight Dream and let's see how this performs. I'm kind of excited, you know, to see what it's like. I don't know if I should clip it down or not, but I'm just going to do it this way. Oh yeah, it does great. It's really nice. Really, really pretty. The light texture is really great with the granulating colors. This is Midnight Dream, which is my kind of my indigo. It's holding water really well. So I just kind of danced some water across the page, and we're going to give it a little salt for some texture. Let's see how that does. That should give us the nice performance. I think I do need to, like, because I'm making it pretty wet, so I think I do need to either like just clip this just like that so I can keep going. And then on the bottom, let's just take a little watered down version of my color here. I think I might just keep this like monochromatic. Just kind of doing a really light little shadow. Needed a Christmas card for somebody, so I thought I would do it here with you. Now, this has got to dry a little bit. So while this is dry, let's look at this postcard that I got. So that is Midnight Dream. It's just like a beautiful indigo that I have, and I put some salt on it. It's taking the salt really well, which is kind of fun to be able to do. So I'll be back to finish that in just a sec. Let's look at the postcards. So I got in these postcards. This is not cotton, so they are wood pulp postcards, but they are a nice cardstock, and they're watercolor friendly. 140 pound. They are 4x6. And I've been looking for a nice postcard to be able to allow you guys to, play with those in the subscriptions. We haven't really had any postcards in since the Grabby postcards, which were really nice, but I felt like the Grabby postcards, the thing that they lacked was the weight. They weren't quite, if you got one of those in the subscriptions in the past, you'd know that they were great to paint on, but they weren't really something that you could just, ship out, or, it didn't have an envelope. It really needed an envelope. So I think that was the trick with the Grabby postcards, is we just didn't have something that was thick enough. So I think I'll go back to the doing something kind of this way, and let's go back to here for now. I'm still working with the same brush. See what I mean? I just kind of keep working with it. Let's get the darker color, and I'm just going to, let's think, do something like that. Grab another color and calm down. And just looking to do some kind of like organic shape. Notice how I'm leaving some areas I want to keep it just delicate and pretty. I do a lot of painting in the studio, and I'm so glad that we're doing this Paint With Me video series to celebrate 70,000 people on the group page, which is pretty amazing. I still can't really wrap my head around that one. Who would have ever guessed we'd have gotten there this year so quickly? Oh, I love this palette. It's so beautiful. If you have not purchased this palette, you have to go and get it before it's all gone. It is the prettiest palette of pinks and reds. I don't even know. I mean, I am coming up with a custom one for the next subscription that is different, but as far as pinks and reds, I don't think I could even do better than this one. It is truly lovely. And they're granulating. This postcard's doing well, don't you think? It's performing well. I'm painting on it in a more professional capacity, and I think it's doing good. This is really pretty. It's like a little violet. And then here, oh no, I think we'll just use the point. To do something like that. I'm going to keep this delicate and kind of organic, so we're going to just come out here. Oh, this is beautiful. It's turning out great. And then let's go to, well, I don't know. The aqua suede is really, really nice. It's something really unique that might look good with this. So I'm going to keep it away from the pinks because I don't really want it to combine on this piece. And I'm usually like I like things to combine, but I think I'll keep it like that. Isn't it a pretty color? Aqua suede, it's called. So pretty. Here, I think I'll just drag. An easy leaf. And maybe another one. I feel like they should be bigger. I don't know, we could. There we go. Let's do it that way. I'm just adding to the shape of the leaf, but trying to get it to not touch. And I actually like the variations in color and like the that's neat. This is not even buckling. Look, that's pretty wet and it's not doing anything. It's staying perfectly flat. So I think we have a win on postcards. So if you want to get these, you can use your 20% off coupon on any of the things on the website. And these are nice little postcards. They really are. These would be even great. You could take a hole punch and you could poke a hole in them for make your flashcards on these and write the notes on the back, because you know it's kind of a traditional postcard thing, but you could do like swatches or something of the colors and note the colors that you use, and then write what you did here in the piece, put a hole in it, and then just string them together. That would be great for your to have on your desk or card. You know, this is so pretty. I like it. Looks really good. Will they fit in here? I mean, you could cut them down slightly. In this one, kind of. It's not exactly the same size. They're just about a little bit bigger than this sketchbook. So they don't exactly fit in there, but they would fit into like the traditional sketchbooks, like regular size. But I don't think you'd need to keep them in a sketchbook. I would just poke a hole in it and string it up and keep it like hanging as cards, reference cards, you know, if you didn't want to use them as postcards. But I can say when this dries, way better as far as keeping its shape than the grabby cards that we were trying to use, the postcards. I wasn't a huge fan of those ones, unfortunately. I like these a lot better. So that's kind of cool. All right, let's set this aside. That is definitely a win. I'm very excited that those worked out well. Okay, let's go back here. So here's what's happened to our beautiful let's just get this out of the way because I will definitely sink my paper right on it. There we go. So this turned out good. So I've got like a little skyline, and now I'm just going to add something to it that I had in mind from before. So let's see. Since it's a Christmas card, I am going to take, I mean, I could take the same color, but I'm going to go ahead and take one of the greens. So probably from the sampler, the green sampler, because they're like darker greens. So I'm going to just start putting a tree here. But with me, I don't want my tree to bend. Let me see. Let's get it straight, shall we? So do I have a measure? Yeah, I do. So this is one of the easiest ways that I do it, is just wherever, let's get the salt out of there. Wherever I want the tree. I'll just paint the line. And then go and develop my larger part of my tree here. And then I'm kind of just gonna hold my brush by the end so that it's just nice and loose. And I'm just gonna tap back and forth. That's my speedy way of doing it, because I don't really have the patience to sit there and do like every single one. So I'm taking one of the darker greens from the 5 green palette sampler. Such a pretty set of greens. Then now I'm going to take, these are Schmincke, by the way. This one here, the Midnight Dream is my watercolor from Jack's Watercolor, and these greens are part of the Schmincke set. This set was sent to you just recently in our subscription service. So if you subscribe to the monthly watercolor subscription, then you probably already have this on hand. You just need to use like an indigo or some kind of blue. And as this dries, then I would just kind of look at it and see if I want to go deeper in the centers with the different greens. That now you see why I did the shadow. And I don't want to go crazy. I don't know if I'm going to add any color to it. I might after it dries. So I just wanted a really pretty, kind of thick Christmas tree. I can build up some of the colors in the center. Surprisingly, this brush is able to do like thicker and thinner little lines. Let's just kind of break up the size a little bit. Nice big fluffy tree. There we go. So pretty. So now this is missing a shadow right here. So we'll just take a little bit of the Midnight and really dilute it down. Try not to grab the green. And I'm just going to close in the gap there. I mean, if it grabs green, it's not a big deal. Very loose triangular image, not a big deal. Isn't that pretty? So now as this dries, if I find that I can still kind of see the background too much to it, what I would do is just go in, grab another green, and just add a little more color. You know, just darken it up. I kind of think right now the forest blue seems to be doing a good job, and the forest, I would say the forest blue from this set, because the background's blue, it seems to like the whole coordination thing. So I just kind of added probably too much, but it's because I'm under heavy lights and I just don't feel like waiting for it to dry. I wanted you to get the idea. Okay, so there's my Christmas card. So when this dries, I'll just write something on the bottom and then scrape off our salt. So the salt rubs off very easily. Actually, the salt rubs off of this card easier than it does off of my Arche paper. The Arche, for some reason, I have to literally like scrape the salt off my card. This one, it just fell right off. It was very soft surface. And there we go. I have a little Christmas card for a friend that I have to deliver. So I'm going to write over here with maybe a gold pen or one of those acrylic markers in metallic. And then I can open and I can go ahead and use some of the colors on the inside a little bit and just write personal note. So there, we got some new papers in the store. I tried them out. I'm pretty happy with them. I'm actually very happy with these papers right now. I really do like the 50% cotton one. I love the postcard. It is such a great one, and I could see you doing all kinds of stuff in it. These cards are terrific too, especially that they come with envelopes, which you had asked me for. So, and then this was the 50% cotton paper that was like the sample sheets. I like these. All right, so if you liked any of the paintings, let me know how you felt about them and give them a try. I'd love to see you guys try any of these yourself. Thanks for joining me, and don't forget, if you haven't come to the group page, come and celebrate with us and use the link in the description. Talk to you guys later. Happy painting.